Your 17th professional fight against Ivan Jukic, who's 19-2. Is this another step up for you?
We're always stepping up. This guy actually wasn't even one of our first picks. There's been a few guys that have been asked to fight who've pulled out or declined. So this guy stepped up, and yeah, 19-2. He knows what he's doing. So it should be an interesting fight. But again, nothing I can't handle.
With opponents turning you down or taking the fight and then backing out, do you think word is getting around Europe that you are for real?
It's not just the word, it's the visual. These guys are seeing me take out my opponents in a savage style that, you know, it's obviously getting to people. They're thinking, okay, maybe he's not worth the risk. Maybe he's not worth me trying to use as a stepping stone to bolster my career. I'm going to find a different option. You know, I think also from the sparring with Carl Froch, the video footage that came from that, now I can't even get sparring partners. You know, guys that were coming, that was scheduled to come down and help me train for this fight. Oh, I've hurt my foot. I've got to get married. Whatever they can say to get out of sparring. So, you know, I might even have to look to going over to the States for future training camps.
So, what sort of sparring have you done for this fight?
I've had a few decent guys. You know, I've basically been going around and just taking whatever I can. Lightweights, heavyweights, super middleweights, you know, anyone that's willing to get in the ring with me. And obviously I tailor my style to their abilities. You know, it hasn't been the best of camps, but I'm working with what I've got, and I'm strong and I'm 100% fit, and it's going to be a hell of a show.
Just say if there's any decent middleweights, super middleweights, light heavyweights, they can come down to Brighton and train with you.
My trainer's Ronnie Davis. You know, he's well known throughout the game, so get your trainers to contact him. We'll come up to you, you can come down to us. You know, I need the sparring, guys.
And what can we expect from you this weekend?
This weekend, it's going to be short and sweet. That's all I'll say on it.
Please welcome into the ring from Brighton, Chris Eubank Jr.
A slightly world-weary Ronnie Davis has already stepped into the ring with a look on his face as much as to say, here we go again. Dad lurking in the shadows. And a 17th professional fight. There are going to be people out there, I know, so let's not avoid the question saying, Jukic, who is he? It doesn't mean anything, this. And sure, there are big tests ahead. But I remember all those years ago that Mr. Eubank Sr. had the similar sort of progression, and when push came to shove, he delivered.
Yeah, most definitely. This Chris Eubank Jr. has got so much talent. You see it when he decides to do some work. That's my only criticism. Is that he walks around for 2.5 minutes. There's nothing, but you have the luxury of doing that when you can punch as hard and as fast as he can.
Well, it looks as though it's going to be Ronnie who's going to be delivering the advice in the ring, rather than the slightly bizarre performance last time out from Eubank Sr., who basically just, for the most part, stood and looked at his son. We're about to go now, and here come the intro. Oh no, there he is, up into the ring, and just through the ropes rather than over the top. And there's the reaction from the crowd. Still looks $1 million, doesn't he? Looks as though he could still be fighting himself. Here's Mark Burtis.
Ladies and gentlemen, Frank Warren for Queensbury Promotions in association with Eubank Promotions, sponsored by Raynham Steel, 666bet and Riley Sports Bars proudly present our next bout this evening. It's a 10 3-minute rounds at international middleweight contest. Firstly, weighing in 11 stone, 7 pounds 6 ounces, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the red shorts, with a record of 19 wins, 2 losses, with 12 KOs. Please welcome from Zadar, Croatia, Ivan Jukic. And across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black shorts, weighing in 11 stone, 9 pounds, with an unbeaten record of 16 wins, with 11 KOs to his name. Please welcome, from Brighton, Chris Eubank Jr. Your referee in charge of the action is Mark Lyson of Liverpool. He will now give his final instructions to both boxers.
To obey my commands. Break cleanly, defend yourselves at all times. Hey, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, 10 3-minute rounds.
Jukic does not look consumed by confidence. Might not last too long, this one, Barry.
No, they always look different weights, don't they, John? But
Extraordinary muscle definition of Eubank Jr. He's in just fantastic shape. So what are we going to see? Took a round or two to get into his last contest. Billy Joe Saunders, I saw, said that he reckons he could beat Chris Eubank in 6 rounds.
oh, lovely right uppercut there from range as well from Eubank Jr. Well, that's what Eubank wants. He got Billy Joe Saunders, who's a British champion, talking about him, who hasn't won a title yet.
He got a good reception from the fans. Oh, good shot. Solid left hook. And just for a moment, Jukic almost looked as though he was going to sag.
Oh, look at this, John.
Terrific hand speed. He means business tonight. God, dear. This is going to end right now, I'm thinking. Huge attack. Fair play to Jukic, stayed on his feet.
Jukic looked at the referee then, I think, for some help for some reason, but he's keeping his hands up nice and high. I think Eubank hits so hard, he just punches through the guard, doesn't he?
He's got his protector up pretty high as well, hasn't it? Peeping out to the top of his shorts. Well, that was a bit of a statement from the young man from Brighton.
Again, it just shows the quality and the sharpness, the power, everything, the speed of his work is tremendous.
Well, we had a good natter with Ronnie Davis, didn't we, the other week up in Newcastle. And I've known Ronnie for many a year, and he's not the sort of guy who'd just say things for the sake of it. And he really does believe in this boy.
He did say this kid's the real deal. Really is.
Oh, great shot. Terrific right hand.
Body shots.
And a terrific uppercut as well. This needs to be stopped. It needs to be stopped. Too many shots being landed. And the man is on, the trainer's on the ring apron with the towel. And they've not thrown it in. I think the referee should have stopped the fight there.
Yeah, the cornerman stood up and the other cornerman got him down.
And he's gone down to another body shot. It's all over. Should have been stopped before. And he's been as good as his word. Too good, too strong. He's ready for bigger tests. Ronnie said that when he went in against Carl Froch, that he at least gave as good as he got. And in his opinion, had the edge on Carl Froch.
Well, what the clip that we've seen on the TV, he looked the sharper, but...
And that was apparently the best bit of Carl Froch.
Yeah, but Carl Froch is, you can think that he could be outboxing Spurs, but Carl Froch is a proper 12-round fight, isn't he, But Chris Eubank Jr. looks tremendous.
It's not being disrespectful to Carl in any sense, and I would be the last. I'd be the last to do that. What I'm just emphasising is that this guy, okay, he's not fighting much here, but he is special. Referee should have stopped it here.
Look at this, tremendous stuff, isn't it? Everything, he just loads up at every shot, but he doesn't lose any speed. Usually when you tense up and load up, you lose something in accuracy or speed. But not with Eubank Jr., everything's just precise. He's ready for a step up, he is ready for a title shot right now. To see if he can display that sort of offensive arsenal against a higher quality opposition, against a champion of some sort. And if he can...
He's ready to step up. He is unquestionably ready to step up. The time is there.
John, if he can...
The time is now.
If he can let go with them sort of flurries at a higher level, every super middleweight or middleweight out there is in trouble. Whether he can, that's the question.
Well, we still wait to see. That step up in class is going to have to come sooner or later. But tonight, he did all that was required of him. Jukic happily has recovered okay. That's the doctor with the striped shirt. He's had a good look at him and he's okay, but he took a few punches too many. For Eubank, though, it's now 17 out of 17.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 2 minutes 32 seconds of the first round, Jukic, the referee stopped him, was in no position to continue, so the winner in the blue corner from Brighton, Eubank Jr.
There are a few boos in Newcastle. There's no boos now. He gets a terrific reception from the Manchester crowd. He has made a bit of a statement in there tonight. He didn't have to beat a lot, Jim, but he did it spectacularly.
Short and sweet. I'll remind you of the prediction carried out to the letter. Above us, Jukic. He's on his feet, but he's still a little bit groggy. I would like to have seen Eubank go over and just make sure his opponent is okay, but no sign of that. And he will be talking to Alex very shortly. Your initial reaction to that, Steve?
Was he did exactly what he said he was going to do. The referee maybe should have come in earlier, as John has pointed out. And as Ronnie Davies leant over and said, he's devastating, and here's the key, when he wants to be. Well, guess what? We want him to be.
We want him to be, and he was tonight. Post-fight interviews are always entertaining when the Eubanks are involved.
Ronnie, do you want to go?
Yeah, thanks very much, Jim. Chris, it was quite a reception tonight, first of all, in Manchester. What did you make of that?
I'm used to being booed on the way in, so it was nice to be welcomed up north here. These guys are pure fighting fans, and they know talent when they see it. So always love coming up here to fight.
Now, I guess in a way that was the sort of performance you should have put in. He lost to a guy by knockout who you knocked out in a couple of rounds back in April at the Copper Box. But you must be ready now for the next step, surely.
I'm ready. I've always been ready. Like I said, boxing's a business, and we're making the right moves. Now is the time to take out some of these guys who've been asking to fight me and who've been disrespectful in the process.
You're talking about Billy Joe Saunders?
I'm talking about Billy Joe Saunders. I'm talking about Spike O'Sullivan. Talking about Frank Buglioni, and I'm even talking about a young fighter called Steve Collins Jr., who a lot of people have told me that obviously they'd love to see history repeat itself. I know a few of these fighters are a bit above my weight, but I'm willing to give away all the weight that I need. I don't need to be in their weight to absolutely destroy these guys like I took this guy out tonight. So those are the fights I want, and then towards the end of the year, I'm going to take average Joe Saunders' belt away from him, and I'm going to start reigning the British middleweight division.
Isn't there a risk, though, that, I mean, he's ranked number 3 with the WBO, he's fighting tonight for the European title. Isn't there a risk and a danger that actually he will be gone by then?
No. I mean, he doesn't fight. Me, I'm fighting regularly. I'll fight the 3 opponents that I just mentioned. I'll fight them once in each month. Next month, the month after that, and then Saunders the next month.
And he doesn't play.
Let's bring in Dad, though. He's talking about fights that he would like. Are they the same fights that you'd like, and are those the sort of fights that are easy to make?
You know, I've said before now, this is the best fighter in the world. I mean, in my view, people say I'm crazy, but take into consideration that I've been a former participant of this particular business, and I'm telling you that this man is going to be better than Floyd Mayweather Jr. I hear Floyd talking about other guys who are going to be kingpins. They're not going to beat him. So when you're talking about the lot here in Britain, I'm sorry, the referees are going to have to actually be very careful and actually keep an eye on them, because they are in danger. That's my view. My humble view.
But Liam Smith, for example, has had the same number of fights. He's defended his British title twice already. That's in a different way, but I'm just a sense of perspective.
there's no perspective. He's going to change the game. In my view, he's going to change the game. Okay. Now, yes, I am a promoter. Chris, Eubank Promotions, we co-promoted here tonight. And a promoter is supposed to actually sell his fighter, but this is the truth. I'm not a salesman. I never have been a salesman. This is my truth, my perception as a former participant of note.
Absolutely, and you got a terrific reception yourself. I think the Manchester fans remember you vividly. Let me ask you this. We were talking earlier on tonight about father-son relationships. When it comes to the time when the stage is his, because at the moment you're deflecting attention and it's working with the promotion, but deflecting pressure, perhaps?
I will not apologize for my demeanor. How can I? I'm just being me.
No, absolutely. It's helping now because the pressure's off your son. Will you let him have the stage?
The pressure isn't off of him. He has the pressure. Not only that, he enjoys it. He welcomes it. He embraces the pressure, which is why he will change the game.
Me, everyone compared me to my father. They're comparing me to a world champion. I'm not a world champion yet. Some people will say that is a pressure, but for me, it makes me fight harder, it makes me train harder, it makes me run harder in the mornings. And it makes me, punch these guys harder in the ring because I know that I've got a level to reach to surpass my father, and that's definitely something that I'm going to be doing in the future.
Let me start at this point here. It is my duty as a father to make sure that I steer him into doing just that, to beating my record. That is my desire. That's my love. It's my drive. Please, speak to the old master.
What I was saying, so let's bring in Ronnie, because he's the coolest man in here as well. Listen, despite maybe the kind of boxing circuits that can go on outside of the ring, there's lots of fans and pundits who believe he's the real deal. I suspect you do too.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I'm with him every day. I see him spar. He spars all the time. He spars with top fighters, and the kid's something special, really special.
Okay, give us the itinerary then for the next year.
I told you. I'm not going to repeat what I said. I've told you the fights I want to fight. I will have the British title in my hands within the next 4 months.
And let me point this out. Billy Joe Saunders has asked for the Thunder, and the Thunder is here. And he will strike not only with thunder, but lightning as well.
The fans are asking for it too. Listen, well done tonight. Thank you.
Superb effort in that corner from all three, Eubanks and the old master, Ronnie Davis. There, a couple of things jump out at me there, that the time has come perhaps to take Chris Eubank Jr. off the leash, and only Floyd Mayweather is better, or is he better than Floyd Mayweather? Make your own mind up. But before we just talk about that, let's just see the end of the fight, which I think we all felt went on a little bit too long. But it showed that when he gets down to business, he is a fighter. The punches come from all angles. They're spiteful. And he is a huge talent. His 5th fight this year, this just a reminder.
He was relentless with his punches. In fact, there's an argument to say maybe should have picked them slightly better. I think he was confident that he would just wear down the Croatian. Should have been stopped at this stage. He catches him with a shot when he goes down here. He just kept on throwing. Hit a lot of elbows, hit a lot of shoulders, but hit a lot of head, a lot of chin, and a lot of stomach. That's a good shot.
And as his dad said, referees have got to be very mindful of how hard he hits and have got to look after opponents. And even Jukic, 32-year-old, coming off a good little run too, just didn't know what hit him. Mightily impressive. Let's just break it down quickly because we have Billy Joe Saunders still to come. Now, he's almost rubbish, Billy Joe Saunders there.
Oh, yes.
He said the Thunder is coming.
Yes.
I'm going to, basically, I will take his title within 4 months.
I'll beat 3 guys on the spin, good guys, Spike O'Sullivan. I'll walk through all of the competitors out there, and then I'll come for you, Billy. Average Billy Joe Saunders. It's going to be tasty. It's going to be nasty. And it will happen. As sure as eggs are eggs, it will happen.
But we talk about hand-picked opponents. One of the things that are levelled at the Chris Eubank Jr., the guy in there tonight included. He's hand-picked his opponents. He hasn't been given a real test yet. Blackwell he's avoided. Billy Joe says he's avoided him too.
So there are an awful lot of British middleweights out there that he could fight, and you could argue he should fight. But they're not stupid. They don't want to fight